On the recovery and the revival, what Washington does on this last piece of legislation is everything. It is everything. If they do not fund state and local governments, you will see an economic recession that has been proven. Chairman Bernanke, Chairman Powell, all economists across the board have said when you don't fund state and local governments and you cause them to do layoffs and cut back, that makes the national economy worse. What I have said to our congressional members, and I want to repeat today, they're working on a piece of legislation for the next 2 years. We need $30 billion for New York State to cover our shortfall. $14 billion this year, $16 billion next year. That's $30 billion over 2 years. Their legislation is over 2 years. If we do not receive $30 billion from the federal government, if our congressional representatives do not make sure New York is $30 billion, we're going to have to take very dramatic action. And these dramatic actions, I believe, will be counterproductive. We will have no choice because I don't have a printing press like the federal government does. But if we don't get $30 billion, we're going to have to take very dramatic actions. If the MTA does not get $12 billion over the next 2 years, they will have to take dramatic actions. Their dramatic actions are limited. All they can do is raise tolls and raise fares. If the Port Authority does not get $3 billion, they will have to curtail their capital plan. That means LaGuardia and JFK. The Port Authority is funded by a percentage of the transportation facility fees. When people don't take airplanes, then the funding to Port Authority dries up. And that's just what happened over these past few months. So it's $30 billion for the state, $12 billion for the MTA, and $3 billion for the Port Authority. Those are the numbers. When they sign a federal bill, when the House members raise their hand and say aye, when the senators agree to pass the bill, if it does not have $30 billion and $12 billion and $3 billion, they are deciding on the actions of the state budget. This state budget is not done in Albany. This state budget is done in Washington.